Hi, it's Auntie Pauline again. I hope you enjoyed this morning's inspiration. And if you did not get the chance to watch it, it's still there so you can go and watch. And remember to like, remember to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Subscribe. And remember, don't forget to leave a comment. Hit the like button, man, and leave a comment. All right. So for a short moment, this video we are gonna let me see how to put it now. Yeah, let me give you the English version. We are gonna talk Jamaican. All right. So let me give you the Jamaican version. We go chat patois. All right, we go chat patois. But guess what? I'm gonna give you the English version and the patois because on this channel, regardless, I might not be seeing the comments or the subscription, but I know a lot of persons are watching, right? I know that people are viewing, and I have persons viewing all the way from Nigeria and those African countries. I have persons from America who speak English. So most of those persons, they don't understand our Jamaican Creole, which we call Patois. All right. So I have a few encounters with persons who they just love. They just love to hear me talk. They love to hear me talk. I used to work in the hotel industry, and whenever I'm going up, especially in the elevator with the guest, man, if I'm with my colleagues, they would like, and we would be talking because sometimes it's not really them. Most of the time, we're not talking about them, talking our own business, but they might not want them to hear. So we talk Jamaican, and they was like, "Wow, what language that you're talking? I love it. I love it." And everywhere I go and talk patois, people love it. People love it. So Jamaicans, don't be ashamed. Sometimes we beat with children and say, speak properly. But no, they have teach them English, teach them proper English, but leave them alone, let them talk the Jamaican Creole. Let them talk the patois. Right? That's history, man. So let them talk. Alright, so I one of my encounters, I was in America some years ago, and it happens that yes, I go up on a work program, and the housings. I don't know. I'm not selfish. I don't see myself as selfish, but I just can't mesh with the women. Where too much women are, oh my, too much mix up, too much too much vexation, different character, different personality, and I just couldn't fit in. And I can't fit in. It's not now, it's a long time. I can't fit in with so many women around me. Knowing that I have four girls, I don't know how I can't. I love everybody, but to live with them, it's I don't see myself. So when I leave work in the afternoon, in the evening, and I go home, everybody's home, and the cha 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 cha. Some is doing that, some is doing that, some is fussing, some is quarreling. So sometimes I just go change my clothes and I take a walk. So that one particular evening, I was on a walk. My cousin and I were there, and we went by the library. Sometimes we take a walk in the park, and sometimes we went by the library. So on that particular evening, we went by the library, and while we were at the library, I noticed at a table there was persons looking like about two or three young men looking like us. And when I say looking like us, they have our complexion darker than I am, but they have our complexion, so they are black. And why I describe them as black, because we were in a white country. So I was wondering if they are Jamaicans too, you know. So they were staring at us, and every time we put our head down and try to do what we were doing, or try to read something, we hold up our head, they were staring at us. Until eventually one of them came over, introduced himself to us, and I can't forget his name, Vincent. I don't remember if my cousin remember him. Jessica, if you are watching, do you remember Vincent? Yes, Vincent was from, I think, Ghana. Yes. So he's from an African country. And from there, you know, introduced himself to us, tell us where he was working and where he's from. And he wasn't working far from us, from where we were living. So we became friends, talked to him and became friends. And right away, he liked our language. So he don't really understand it, but he love it. So he wanted to learn our language. So in the evening when he leave work, he would come by the house, and we would, talk to him in Patois, man. And he was like, "What? I don't understand you," because African talk, and I would, and he loved it. So almost every evening he would come by for us to teach him, and we would teach him. So one day, Vincent came. He was so excited. He was so chirpy, as if, I mean, we were wondering what happened, why he's so excited. And he said, Pauline, that's what he called me, Pauline, I know how to speak Patois. I said, "Oh, where did you get it from?" Because all we are teaching him, and each time we taught him how to do it, he forget. Then he came by next day, he forget. But this particular thing, he remember. And I said, "Where you get it from?" He said, "At work. We have some Jamaican men at work. They work in the restaurant. They teach me patois today." I said, "Okay." So, mark you, Vincent is a Christian. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. He is a Sunday worshiper. I don't remember which of the denomination, but he goes to church on Sunday. And when Vincent said, the Jamaican men at work teach him patois, I said, "What? Tell me about it. Let me hear." And when Vincent opened his mouth and started to talk patois, I was like, "Vincent, stop it!" And he said, "What?" I said, "You're cursing." You know what the Jamaican men do? They teach Vincent indecent language. That's what we call bad word or bad word. Then tell Vincent some bad word and tell them say a Jamaican language. And he repeat them. He couldn't remember what we taught him, but he remember what they taught him. Because guess what? I don't know if it sound good to his ears or what, but he remembered them and he was reading them out to me. I said, "Vincent, stop that." I said, "What?" And I told him, I said, "If you go to Jamaica and you speak like that, and the cop hear you, they will put you in the cuff or charge you. You're not supposed to talk like that." He said, "Really?" And he put his mouth onto his mouth. I said, "Oh my God, somebody deceived me." And Vincent said he was deceived, So that's how badly they wanted to learn our Jamaican language. Another encounter, I was on the bus. I left Michigan and I went to New York by bus. I took the Greyhound. I leave like 7 o'clock in the morning and I reached the next morning. So I slept on the bus. So I spent a week down there in New York. So on my way back, it was me and my friend and I, another girlfriend and I. On our way back, man, we on our way back, we could sit in one seat by ourselves, but because the bus was full and we wanted to stretch our legs out, so we wanted a seat for ourselves because the journey is long. We're not gonna reach back until the next day. So I took a seat, and my girlfriend took another seat. So we both stretched our legs out. When it reached like New York, that's another state, the bus came to a stop and was taking up some passenger at the substation. And when I look outside, I saw, me not lie you, the man looked good. He was dark and he was handsome and he was about to board the bus. And I was hoping that he come and sit beside me, but I said, I was, other seats were in the bus, in the back and sideways, my friend, and and moreover, I want the seat by myself to stretch my legs out. But when the passengers were boarding the bus and he was in the line coming in the bus, my friend turned to me and said, "Girl, you have to put on your foot, We say, "You put on yours." We were like talking, but we talk patois. We said, "Me want man sit down in this seat here." But while we were talking, the passengers were coming in, and that man, he was almost, he was coming in not far from us, and he heard us talking, and he came and he stopped right beside me, and he said something to me I could not understand. He's speaking a different language, not English. Could not understand. I said, "Huh?" And then it's speaking like English. I said, "Can I sit beside you?" And I was like, "No problem." And I, dress up and allow him to sit. And while sitting beside me, we had a conversation because we strike up conversation and stuff like those. And he asked me where I'm from, and I told him Jamaica. And he was like, "What language you speak?" And I was like, "Patois." Because he heard me speaking. But when he asked me for the seat, he thought I was speaking French at the time. So he spoke to me in French. Poor me, no know French. So I couldn't understand what he was saying, and I was like, "Huh?" So after I realized that I don't understand him, he talking English. So that's how he explained to me that he thought I was speaking French. So he spoke back to me in French. And I said, "No." So, on our trip, he came out before me, but we were able to exchange numbers before he came off the bus. And from there on, we, talk to each other on the phone while I'm at home or so. We talk to each other on the phone. And he too, he said he's a minister of the gospel, but he's a Sunday worshiper and he's also a chef. So he called me one night and he said, "Guess what? It said they have a Jamaican working in the kitchen where he worked, and he was angry with the boss today." I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yes." And he left after he get angry on the boss. He left, and believe you me, I don't know how they always remember the bad words or the indecent language, and they can't remember the ones that we taught them. Because he said before the worker left, that's the Jamaican chef left, he told the boss some words. And when I asked him what was it, and he started to reel out the bad words in my ears. I said, "Then tell me something. Oh, you remember those?" He said, "Because they sound funny." They sound funny. I said, "Those are indecent language, you know that." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yes, you're not supposed to talk those words." And and I have a lot of encounters. But for those who are not acquainted with our Jamaican language, so to speak, Patois, Creole, I'm going to talk a few, time permits me, and I'm going to translate them for you. So when we say, "Afi me car," do you understand what I said? It's my car. When I said, "Me I go left today," I am saying, I am leaving today. When I said, "Him 2 years hard," or "him 2 hard years," what am I saying? He's too stubborn, right? And I'm looking for some easy one. Ask her the question. Ask her the question. Ask her the question. No bother me. It just no bother me. Don't bother me. That's it. Don't bother me. I be a dog dog in a yard. Yeah. What type of dog? I be a dog dog in a yard. What am I saying? There are only dogs in that yard. Or there are a lot of dogs in that yard. Mm-hmm. No bother ball, me soon come. No bother ball, me soon come back. What am I saying? Don't bother with the crying. I'll soon be back. Sell me one buckle of oil. Sell me one buckle of oil. Sell me a bottle of oil. That I'm a brother. Or I'm a brother that. That is my brother. No, I go to church even when I was overseas. And one day the pastor asked me to sing for him at another church because he pastored 3 churches. He went to one in the morning, and in the midday, he went to the next one to preach. So he asked me to accompany him and do the song of meditation. And I used to go to that church that he asked me, but I realized he took a different route. He and his wife was in the car, I was at the back seat. Took a different route, and we were talking, but then I realized we were early for the next service, and he took a different route that I don't know that route. And he was, saying, "So, Pauline, how is it in Jamaica?" And, talking and talking. And he said, I just started to talk about the language that we speak. And then he said to me, "Can you talk Jamaican, let me hear?" And because I didn't know where I was going, and by the time he said, "Can you talk Jamaican, let me hear?" I said, the next word was, "Where you go?" And he was, "Huh? Talk Jamaican, let me hear." I said, "Where you go?" And he was not realizing that I was talking Jamaican. And after he picked up, he said, "Wow, what are you saying?" And I said, "All I'm asking is, where are you going?" He said, "Oh." And he said, "I'm taking a different route. I'm taking a longer route because we are early, you know?" So, when somebody asks you, "Where you go?" that means, where are you going? All right? Let me see which again. Like somebody will say, could it big bird in the tree?" He said, "Look here. That's a big bird in the tree." Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find another easy one. Boy, me think the test was that easy. Boy, me think the test was that easy. Okay. Speak English, Pauline. Boy, I thought the test would have been easy. And you know, when I was in America, when I was working, I have a supervisor that nobody, even myself, we couldn't take her, we couldn't stand her. She was disgusting, she was pick, she was a troublemaker. And she always tried to get us into trouble and stuff like those, you know. She lies and everything, and we couldn't stand her. So we were in the laundry. My friend and I were in the laundry, and we were folding some linen. She came in, and she was there folding and trying to put something together. So my friend and I, we were talking about our own business, but we were talking in Jamaican language, Patois. All of a sudden, I heard the supervisor, Pauline, for Christ's sake, speak English. And I was like, I'm not talking to you. And she was so upset that you're talking about me. When you want to talk about me in front of me, you talk Jamaican. Huh? When you want to talk about me in front of me, you talk Jamaican. And I was definitely not talking about her. We were talking our whole business. But she was so upset because she could not hear or she could not understand what we were saying. Man, this girl. And I could go on and on, but another day I'll teach you patois, all right?